Here's the 2-hour price chart for Palantir Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker PLTR. Here we can see that the stock continues to motor higher. This is a really impressive uptrend that we're developing here. All of these price moves were expected well in advance. We've been expecting a turnaround point, a major turnaround point in the stock, ever since the share price itself formed a triple bottom near the 2060 price level. We have seen some bearish calls starting to develop in the financial news media, which suggests that Palantir is ready to reverse, that this current rally has extended too far to the top side, and we're going to now see a major top forming in place. But the more we see those types of calls, the more the stock just continues to push higher. The prior level of significance for this ticker was found at the 2750 level. This is the high that was posted. This would be the 7th of March, where we would see this posted. And we can see here that markets did manage to break this level forcefully after we come back from this holiday thin trading period, where overall market liquidity levels were not normal. We had a market close last Thursday. Many people were not participating in the market on Friday. We really didn't see trading volumes start to normalize until the Monday trading session. So a lot of these moves, could have been forecasted previously. Given the fact that there were certain conditions in place, which meant that these sorts of upside moves were becoming more and more likely. So currently, if we're moving down to the shorter term timeframes here, we can see that we do have a bit of resistance turn support, which can be found at roughly 2730. This area does come in fairly well aligned with the 20 period exponential moving average on the 2-hour chart. So, we do have a bit of support here, which definitely could contain the downside. If we did see a break below here, I would expect to see probably most likely a period of sideways consolidation, given the fact that we are still trading in overbought territory. We're starting to see a bit of a move lower here in those conditions. But overall, I do expect this stock to remain supported as long as we're able to stay above this exponential moving average cluster. So given the fact that we now have a historical support zone falling in line with the initial moving average, it would take selling pressure. You would need to see a fair amount of selling pressure in order to force prices lower from here. If we did see a further break from here, I would start to look at the 2575 level as another potential buy zone, given the fact that we do have the 100 period exponential moving average rising quite quickly and likely to come in contact with this level relatively soon. So we would have, if that were to come to fruition, if those price movements were to play out, then we would have a region of historical support falling in line roughly with the 100 period EMA. So, for the moment, there's not much here suggesting that share prices are likely to start moving lower. We do have some, potential warning signs here with the relative strength index, because we have moved into overbought territory. But we can pull out on this chart a bit more and see that wouldn't really be abnormal for this stock. I mean, if we go back to the February 5th trading session here, we can see that there was a tremendous spike higher during that trading period. We even saw a price gap move with these movements. And when that occurred, we did see prices kind of hover into overbought territory in an extreme way. I mean, this price action resulted in a relative strength index reading that was well above the 90 level. I mean, we're seeing 92, 93 here in the relative strength index, which is a tremendously high value. The relative strength index measures price action from 0 to 100. You really don't see levels move to 100. But anything above 70 would be considered to be overbought. Readings above 90 would be considered to be extremely overbought. So, as we can see here, the stock managed to stay in, overbought territory and heavily overbought territory for an extended period of time. I mean, we really didn't leave overbought territory here until roughly February 12th, and, so we're talking about, a full week here in overbought territory. I mean, that's a long period of time. It's not something you generally see in the market. But since we do have examples of this occurring in the past, it is fair to assume that it would be possible for it to happen again in the future. That doesn't necessarily mean that it will happen, but the chances of it happening are more likely than they might be with other stocks. Currently, the price to earnings ratio for Palantir is above normal. It would be considered above normal, but that would be largely due to the growth expectations that are broadly expected for this company. So for these reasons, it tends to trade in kind of elevated territory, overbought territory, and it can hold these regions for an extended period of time. So currently, we can see here that this is a very strong uptrend in share prices. It's developed over time. We kind of saw this major price move higher start to occur at the end of May. This would be May 29th, where we're seeing lows back toward the $20 mark, 2090 roughly. And then we do see a very strong run higher here. In percentage terms, these are very significant price moves. These are not minor price moves. And after breaking through resistance levels above 2750, we really haven't seen much of a rejection here, much of a price pullback. We did see a bit of a decline here, but if you put this in place with the broader context here, and you look at share price levels, on the whole here, if you compare this entire uptrend with the corrective, retracements to the downside that we've seen, share prices have really been caught by this 2730 level. So, now that we have these rising exponential moving averages, we would expect to see share prices come into contact with support zones at higher and higher levels. We can kind of see that developing here. There's kind of a stair step, fashion going on here. So, as long as these exponential moving averages are pointed in the upward direction, the overall expectation would be that sort of trading activity would continue, or would be most likely to continue. So, overall, this does place the stock within strongly bullish prospects, even though we are still trading at relatively elevated levels, and the indicators themselves are, breaching into overbought territory. Here's the current market analysis for Palantir Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker PLTR.